Sweet. Good evening, my friends. It's Clyde with PT3D, and I am going to be doing some workful in regards to this little mini batch job that I've got to do. So that's what I'm working on right now. So I'm going to clean up my clamps, and I'm going to work on the next one. There's a video that I'm going to be posting on this little topic, and that's going to be here shortly, probably within the next day or so. But for now, we're gonna work cutting of stuff. So I'm working on. Got this one to pull out. So I got that one. I got that one, and I gotta trim this one. So these are just I'm doing little notepads for like Patreons and stuff, and friends. I'm selling them for $5. Hey Vince, how you doing, buddy? And what I'm doing right now is I'm going to trim this leather down to a little bit more manageable size for the laser, because the laser likes to be difficult in regards to how big I can put in things. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to trim the excess off. This is thin leather. It's not very thick at all, but real easy to work with. Cuts nice on a paper cutter. So let me load this. I know it's kind of funny. I just did a video on this, and now I'm doing a live stream. This is going to be a short live stream tonight. I'm only available for about an hour. So let me tilt you up so you can see. I'm going to work on, I just got to batch this job to the laser real quick. So we're going to do this. Burn a quick line. There's my line. And now I'm going to open up this one. And then we're going to start doing some engraving of this one. All right, well, that's rastering. Hey, Ken, how you doing? Wow, didn't expect to see you tonight. Good to see you, buddy. There we go. Let's get this thing in focus. This is our workstation, so we're going to move this tool, and we're going to lock it, make sure it doesn't come springing about. I've got... I put my wood somewhere. Where did I put my wood? Oh, it's right here. It's very important to have this nice, wonderful wood here. A very fine evening to all. So tonight I'm just doing 3 of these real quick. Did a little bit more of a detail. I need some light. This is ridiculous. I can't see anything. Let's move this light over here. Here we go. It's always important to have light when you're using razor knives. That way you don't cut yourself. And use sharp knives so you don't cut yourself. And just don't be me. Then you won't cut yourself. All right, so we got that one. I mean, I could use the paper cutter as well, I suppose, for this. But honestly, Robbie Mac, how you doing, buddy? What are you saying? Holy crap, because I'm actually here, or holy crap, because I'm streaming at a time that you can see me? You just didn't see my last stream is all, because it was in the middle of the night. Oh, that didn't quite cut all the way. Got lazy. I pulled my cut at the last minute. All right, let's see. There we go. Excellent. Oh, wait, I didn't realize I did not add Ken to the group. Here you go, Ken. Everybody gets to be a moderator. I got that from Pusa Studios. They do a lot of that kind of stuff, and they're pretty fun. So why not? Haven't had any real trolls in any of my streams or on my channel, so it makes sense to be able to, you know, do a little share. So yeah, working with leather is actually really rewarding. So if you haven't had the opportunity to do that, I highly recommend it because leather is fun. A little messy too, though. So it's always good to try to keep your leather clean. There we go. This one's ready to go. So I just gotta cut this one. This one's mine because I want one too. So if you want one, you can email me. I'm only charging $5 for these things. It might take me a little bit of time to get them to you, but you know, if you're overseas though, we'll have to discuss that because I don't know how much shipping would be for that. Mostly this is for my Patreons, but I'm also equal opportunity and I have bills to pay. So I will make these until my fingers bleed if this is something you enjoy. And again, this is going to be a really short stream. I just have a couple of these to build, assemble, however you want to word that. It's up to you. Some leather is also a little bit thicker than others, so it makes it interesting to get a consistent cut when you're, you know, using the laser at one setting, and then different piece of leather works better at a different setting, and it's just, you know, anything and everything to make my life more interesting. Well, if it matters, then I'm going to have a really short stream. I do have to get home because my children have asked me to be home since this week I'm actually doing sales. So I'm going to be more closely home. So I'm trying to do any and all project work as I'm able to. So hence the reason why I did a video on this just a few minutes ago, and why I'm doing a live stream now for a few minutes, just so I can hang out with you guys while I do this and, you know, just have fun. It is good to see you again, Robbie Mac. And if you're not familiar with me, I am Clyde, and this is my channel, PT3D, which is short for Prototype This 3D. I just put out a video last week appealing to my audience to, if you're interested, of course, and helping me create somewhat of a small version of a makerspace initially, which is part of the Precious Plastic group. I encourage you to go to preciousplastic.com. That'll give you an idea of what I'm talking about. Grilling burgers for supper. Burgers are good. I just had tacos. Hey, Paul, how you doing? So yeah, anyway, so if you want to, I mean, anything helps. I mean, you can go to Patreon, support me for a little bit if you want. You don't have to support me at all. I am trying to do a little bit more interesting content, as I've mentioned before, because, you know, that's me. All right, so we've got that going. So I need a little bit of isopropyl for the thinners because I got a little bit of char. I need a paper towel. So I'm going to grab 2 paper towels from the kitchen, and I am going to take this. Excellent, Paul. What kind did you end up getting? Because I also got a new 3D printer, just so you know. It was actually sponsored by a customer. The customer did not want, well, I can actually show you that real quick if you want. These are from the last couple days. Sorry about the washout there. These are all models that have been printed on my Elegoo Mars. This is the one that just came out, like not that long ago, just a little while ago. This is the One Ring. And there you go. You could kind of see the lettering. Easy Thread X1 Mini 3D printer. Hey, 3D printers are just plain awesome. These are Red Hats D&D figures, Red Caps, sorry. I got 3 player characters right here. They were specialty designed using Hero Forge. Some dice that I got from Thingiverse for the Royal Game of Ur. These are tiny, and I really like that because I wanted to have tiny dice. Mama said no, she doesn't like the tiny dice. She wants bigger dice. So Mama wants bigger dice. Then I'm going to have to give her bigger dice. All right, let's get some of this cleared out. I'm going to bring this down here. Bring this one over here. Put that one back. Clean off my space a little bit. And I pre-packaged these in bundles of 20 because these notepads have 20 pages. And it seems to be a really good size. So I usually start, I know I do this backwards. I don't know why I do this, but I usually start putting the paper on here, then I flip it, and then I jog it, and then I make sure that it's like, okay, that looks pretty close. And if I need to, I'll jog the paper just to get it a little bit more straight. These are handmade, so I don't always go for, you know, like that hardcore machine look. I want it to look a little bit handmade. So, hey, monoprice is good. This is the Boss Stitch that I'm using. And I'm going to see if I can find my line, which is right there. Ah, epic fail. I'm trying not to damage the leather. Try this again. Downside using a household stapler for this. Hold on, I got to fix this now. I get used to doing this though. Like I said, it's break it with Clyde, mess it up with Clyde, or any number of names you can come up with. I like it though, so it doesn't matter. Let's karate chop. Yeah. There we go. My New Year is excellent. I hope all of your New Year's are excellent. I'm gonna peel this up, flip it over, grab my X-Acto knife. I do love making these though. So please put in orders and request today. I can figure out a place to sell them. All right, so this one is done but needs to be folded. This one is not done, so I need to get that one done. I think I should have enough material to do all of these. This is really nice paper too, by the way. I got it on Amazon. Oh my God, I've wanted to make myself one of these, but I've managed to make them for everybody else but myself. So it just, you know, it's one of those things. Everybody else is a priority, and then I get to do mine later. All right, so I should be able to go pick up that other one off the laser so we can trim that up. And then probably call it a night because all I got to do is bind these together. And should be all. These are like little sketch pad notepads. The whole purpose in them is to, I guess I'm going to use a ruler on this one. Just to be able to put in a pocket. So you can put these in your shirt pocket. You can put these in your pants pocket. You can put them in your pocket. Pocket. I don't know where that came from. I do have a friend, and she said that it even fits in her pocket. So now that is saying something, because she says that women do not get to have normal pockets on their pants. So I was not aware of that, I guess. And I'm really sorry to all the women makers out there that are limited in pant selection with pockets, because, well, everybody that's a maker needs pockets, because you're always throwing stuff in your pockets. So I can't imagine not having a pocket to put stuff in. So, and again, these were inspired by Jimmy DiResta. I mean, this is my design, so I did design these, but I saw a video of him doing some bookbinding, and I was like, oh, I so want to do something like that. So what I did is I went to, I think, Hobby Lobby here, because AC Moore, well, it's closing in my area, and they didn't have the leather, because I think it was sold out, because like I said, everything's pretty much on clearance there right now, if it's even open still. And I was like, well, they don't have leather. So I went to Hobby Lobby, and they had some scrap leather, and that's what I'm processing this stuff with. So it's actually a lot of fun. All right, so we need this, flip that this way. Let's see. Oh, look at that. I made myself an entirely extra notebook. So I'm going to have an extra one. But I'm not making an extra one. I'm just saying I have enough for an extra one, which I'm sure I will be making in the next day or so, because it seems like these are very popular, and I just started making these things. But people have reacted very well to these. I always get at least one that likes to do that. So let's get a new. We'll pull that out. Give you a new staple, because that's just not nice. There we go. You like that better, huh? All right. Yeah, the other part was lining these up, at least in a way that made sense to people, because some people have really bad OCD, and they're like, oh my God, that staple's crooked. Well, guess what? If you just want the cover, or you use the notepad and it runs out of paper, you can actually pull the staples out and rebind this. It takes no time to do this. So now we're going to take that. I'm going to fold this one over. We're going to do this. I got to do all of these, so they're not going to hold together at first, because I need to press them. But that's okay. Here's mine. Yay, look it. Uh-oh. Something went amiss on my fold. Oh, well. I'm going to be okay with it, because this one's mine. So we're going to put that right here. I'm going to put mine in the middle, because I want to make sure that if any transfer goes through, it's on mine and not somebody else's. All right, so on this one, I'm going to make sure that I check that crease. Dee, how you doing this evening? Look at that. I get all my buddies show up today, and it's like on a stream where it's like I'm only here to do a quick, process job, and then I'm going to be signing off to go spend some time with my kids because I don't get to do that during the week, and that's pretty awesome. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn these right here. And like I said, I have a little bit more detailed version of this coming out this week because it's an actual video that I'm releasing. I wanted to do a live stream so we could touch base, but so I could actually get some of this done because, had some requests for these, even though I literally just started making them like today. Actually, that's not true. I made a couple others. All right, let's see how that stacks. Oh, yeah, that's looking nice. Very, very nice. A little off on the one fold. Yeah, so we'll let those sit there for a second. If you weren't here on the last stream, if you can't see it, I did get the Elegumars. So that's the new addition to the family. Just cleaning up my mess here. Oops, dropping things. Get things. It's always moving stuff. It's never just putting it away. It's always moving it to the side. So yes, I did get the Elegumars. I have already succeeded in damaging it because I like to break stuff, and that's what I'm known for. So I've actually messed up the the PEI sheet or whatever it's called. So I need to order a new one. I am doing a print right now of some red caps to add to the army of stuff on D&D. So pull this up real quick. That way I don't have to turn my head around. I've got just a little bit more time left, so that's good. Not trying to be antisocial either. I'm just doing this. There we go. Not trying to be antisocial either. Let's mute that. There we go. All right, so the first print actually failed. And it's over here. Let me move some of my containers. It would be these parts right here, which I'll explain what this is supposed to be. Well, actually, why don't we just move you over here now? That way we can actually have a talk for a few. You guys get comfortable. Sorry for the dizzyingness. But I have to pull the legs out of my tripod. And that is very fun to do. All right, there you go. Now you can sit next to me. Then I can sit down and we can talk. So the question is, how did my first print go? Well, the answer is simple. It went like this. So this is my first print. I'll explain what happened. That print is supposed to be this right here. So obviously that doesn't look like that. It's the Rook, which is the sample test print. Let me bring you down a little bit lower. I know, I gotta stop moving tripods. You guys are gonna be able to see my brain up my nose. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do something fun. I'm gonna pull out the microscope because I've been doing this with everybody lately. And for some reason, the microscope is just plain awesome. So we're gonna bring you over here. Let me get you lined up. There you go. I'm going to angle you down. Maybe I'll turn that overhead light off so you have less glare. All right, I know it's dark. I'm going to fix that. Just give me a second. Nope, the camera is not broken. The stream did not end. There we go. So we're going to bring this closer. Nope, I really don't. Sorry, bud. It's just, I don't get into it anymore. I mean, once upon a time I did, but see if I can get most of the screen on here. You guys good with that? That looks good, right? All right. That's some weird glitchiness going on my screen. What is that all about? All right, hold on. I may have to reduce this to 30 hertz if it does that again. All right, so the first one that I did was this one here. Oh, yeah, I think I'm going to have to change this to 30 hertz. It looks like the 60 hertz is messing with it. Which is really odd. So let's go into the menu. Let's change this back to 30 hertz. Or sorry, 50 hertz, whatever. And that should stop it from doing that. Or not. Maybe not. Well, that's weirdly weird. Sorry about that. All right, we're gonna. Oh, that's a lock. I had no idea. All right, we're gonna just bring this up to the top here, and I'm gonna lock it into place. All right, there you go. So you can see this is the sample rook. Well, I'd like to think you can see it. How's that? All right, so this is the sample rook that you get with the Elegoo Mars. And as you can see, it's got the double helix in there and the staircase that goes down to the bottom there, which I find absolutely cool. So that's neat. The other one we've got, let's see, in order as they completed, is this one right here. And this is a RP character for D&D. She actually has a ring on her finger, which I thought was pretty awesome. So you can see that kind of detail. This is printed at 0.05 microns or layer height. And the you can see the cork stopper on the the flask on the hip, and then of course you got the belt, and then you've got the other utility, and then this one also has a crossbow, so that's pretty cool. I've left the supports on intentionally because I want to give that to the DM. This one is going to be harder to see because it's I mean, it is detailed, but you can't really get through all the supports really. Just too many of them because I did 2 different figures on this one as an experiment. But again, this is under a microscope. So just to give you an idea for scale. Let's see. These are the red caps. I'm guessing these are like gnomes that want to eat you or something. So like scary gnomes maybe. But yep, I did 4 of these. 4 of them failed because I did 8 altogether. Right? And of course, if you recognize this, this is the One Ring. I did get some weird. I didn't print this with support. I printed it flat on. I did 2. 1 failed. 1 mostly didn't. but obviously it did fail a little bit. There's some kind of delamination there. So that's unfortunate. But this one's not quite cured yet. So you can, if you can, let me see if I can get a zoom out a little bit more. Nope. Sorry. So there's a little bit of a, see if I can find a squish point here. Yeah, you can't really see it. So, I mean, you can if I do it up here. You see how it squishes a little? So, obviously, we don't want to take it out of round, so I'm going to stop doing that. The one that failed is actually right here. Which, oh, sorry, let me do this. It actually looks like this. So it depends on how what your definition of fail is, because this is still a usable device or usable ring. It actually has kind of a neat effect to it that it failed. It still has some of the letters or the Elvish characters, I guess is the technical term for that. There we go. So I think that's pretty cool, the way that came out. I also printed a handful of D4 dice, which again, so you can kind of get an idea of what I'm talking about. And I really like them, actually. I'm going to use those for the Royal Game of Ur. And then, of course, this is the biggest print I've done yet. So there you go. Let's see if you can figure out what it is. What is that? I'm just kidding. I wonder how the layers came out, though. Wow. That is a lot of layers. And again, this one's not fully cured yet, so I'm trying to be careful. But I'll show you this one on the camera. So yeah. Does anyone here use an Xbox 2 game? I do on occasion. Not horrible, like not often anymore, but on occasion. All right. So let's bring you back over here, I guess. How's that for a view? Oh, that's beautiful. I meant the picture, not my face. So anyway, that's the microscope, by the way. Oh, best thing ever when you're doing stuff like this. This is the largest print I've done. So to compare, I had two characters that I made in this little blob of supports versus this one, which is huge by comparison. And I did notice that it was doing some, it was coming up off the build plate. It was like warping. So like this shouldn't be like that. It should actually be flat. So this part here decided to separate. So kind of a bummer, but it's okay. So that's got a cure. I'm going to try and keep it as flat as I can. I've got developing quite the collection of mostly cured versus not cured pieces right now. But my daughter also made a thing today, which is this is a Tupperware lid. I don't know if I can show you what it looks like. Let me look. So this is what the Tupperware lid looks like. These are from Walmart. And I looked at it and I'm like, this looks really cool. It's got a nice soft curve to it. And it's got a little ridge here. And I was like, you could probably use this for like a stage for her minis, because she's got a lot of little mini Hatchimals. I made her something out of plaster of Paris. I painted it and put clear coat lacquer on it, and she uses that for her, doing her little mini stuff. She loves the mini figurines. Well, anyway, this is concrete, or I don't know if I'd call it concrete. It's cement, I think is the word for it. Yeah, this is cement or quikrete. And what I'm trying to do, I'm trying an experiment, is I laser cut one of the blocks for embossing, which is one of these. By the way, if you haven't seen the new logo, that is the new logo. Boom. I will be getting a Cricut, and I will be cutting stickers soon. I'm also going to get a lathe. The lathe I'm going to be using to make pens. And again, this is all part of the tiers on Patreon. So if you guys are interested in supporting me on Patreon, pretty much most of the stuff is do I need stickers? I always need stickers, buddy. I could probably text you the vector if you wanted to make some if you get bored. But yeah, I'd like to do give away to stickers to all Patreons, in the lower end, of course, but all Patreons forward. Middle tier Patreons, notepads, higher tier Patreons, pens, epic, like anything like out of the ordinary, like of really high value. I would actually make a pen pencil set, all hand turned on the lathe. So I know you do, buddy, but I didn't want to bug you about it. The other thing I'm looking at too is repurposing some printing equipment that I have here, and I was debating on turning it into a router or CNC table. I can't run it here, obviously, but I can. I just like the lathe. I can't run the lathe here either. This is a relatively clean processing space, so I get away with a little bit, but I don't want to go away with too much. Well, that would be something. Actually, I have no idea. I mean, I had thought about black and white, but does anybody think they've got a handle on what colors I should use if I were to do some stickers? Stickers. Let me see about sending you that email real quick. Oh, let's see. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, and that this big model that I did, that's called a burrow shark. Vector. Do you still got my my personal address or no? Oops. Okay. Red and blue. Those are complementary colors, though. They look like they look like the Spider-Man graphic. Really, red and blue? I was thinking black and white for now, but or something with green in it, because you know me, I like my green. Hmm. Yeah, just call me if you need anything, D. I don't. I gotta check and see if I have any money anyway, because I don't think I do right now. I need to send out those notepads. Oh, that's what I need to be doing. Oh my God, really? Of all the things I was forgetting to do, that was the one thing I didn't want to forget to do. All right, let me make some space here. Because I need to do some heat treatment. You know, I think you should surprise me on that one. You know, I like surprises. Whatever you have an abundance of, that's not gonna you know, cost much. I mean, I have no problem with giving you some money either, buddy. I just happen to like green. I haven't settled on colors yet, so. Speaking of which, D, do you want one of these notepads? Since we've done a bunch of projects together and you've supported me, so I think it's only right to ask you that. Please don't get mad at me, Kelly. Okay. How's the school stuff going, by the way? I love this paper. I can't tell you how much I love this paper. I'm telling you, these are going to look the most vintage out of all the ones I've built because these ones were actually hand embossed. So I think that's pretty cool. And I am going to be going back through and redoing the tiers on Patreon. I have been a lot more engaged on Patreon as of late. So nice. How many of those did you build? So send me a text of a time that's good for you if you want to get together offline at some point. So I do have a couple questions I could ask you. Do I need to do another one of these notepads? I mean, I got time to do one more before I have to kill the stream. Oh, actually, no, I don't have time. I actually need to get going. So, yeah, send me messages. Prototype this 3D at gmail.com. You can log on to my Facebook. You can go to my Twitter at 3D this, I believe is what my Twitter handle is. And if you want to check out my groups on Facebook, Prototype this 3D. And I've also got Learning with Clyde, which is not active yet. And I've got EAS or EAM, sorry, which is the Ellsworth Area Makers, which don't worry about that. That's not really, most people watching this does not really pertain to them. I really want to get into doing this reclamation project and making stuff. So if you're interested and you want to help fund that, obviously, once it's going, it'll be fine. We can work out, a, discount program. Think of it kind of like a, hey, thanks for helping me. Now what can I do for you kind of thing. It's just mostly getting the funding started. Buildings cost money to rent. I'm actually significantly behind on my gear, which I need to take care of. That's not an appeal to you. It's just, matter of fact. The hobbyist stuff isn't making much money right now. Probably because I give a lot of stuff away. I can't help it. Just I like doing that. But other than that, thanks for tuning in and watching and hanging out. And I really am glad to be back on here and be back to seeing and talking with you guys. But I have some family stuff to do, so I will see you guys on the next stream. So, ciao.